Ticket you're headed for Santa Fe?
Could be.
Oh, I'd stay out of there, mister.
How would you now?
Well, you know who they got in jail there? Kid Remick.
He's the man I came to get.
Well, you must be that marshal that called in from Colorado, huh? Oh, you sure in for trouble, mister. I ain't gonna stay around and see it. Good luck to you.
Luck's got nothing to do with it.
So right, mister. Luck ain't got nothing to do with it.
Deputy Buckhart.
Springer, Jackson.
Buckhart, we've waited long enough. We want to know what's happened to your marshal from Colorado.
He'll be here.
When? You wired him 5 days ago. If they want Remick so bad up in Colorado, why don't they come take him?
You out there! I want something to eat!
It's the most complaining customer we've had in a long time. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of reports to make out.
I sure hope you haven't taken on more than you can handle by jailing Remick, Buckhart.
Would you have preferred if I let Remick ride out of town instead of arresting him?
I'd have preferred Morrison being here to do the arresting. Then I'd know the town was safe. Where is Morrison?
It isn't just Colonel Springer, Sam. We're all worried.
Look, Frank, Morrison is in Albuquerque on official business with the governor. 5 deputies are after cattle thieves on the Mexico border. Timmons and McAfee are riding shotgun protecting $50,000 in gold to St. Louis. I can't bring any of them back here, but there's no need to panic.
No need to panic. With a man like Remick in this town? You know the crowd he ran with. Now, there's always been adequate protection in Santa Fe. If it was you and him alone, that'd be one thing, but there's all the others to think of. Who's going to protect this town from being shot up?
Springer, I think you're jumping to conclusions.
Colonel Springer, I still hold a commission, Buckhart. And my experience with Apaches has taught me that they're not only stubborn, but usually foolish.
Springer.
Mr. Buckhart, I've got the prisoner's food like you said. Bowl of soup and stew.
Take it to him, Mr. Watkins.
Yes, sir.
Now, there's nothing more. I'll excuse you, gentlemen.
First, answer me one question. If you're not worried, how come you've slept in this place and eaten every meal here ever since you took that killer?
Because there's nobody else to hold down the office. Does that satisfy you?
Having old man Watkins there help you, that's still no better than being alone.
All right, you've had your say. Now go on, get out.
You are worried, aren't you, Mr. Buckhart? And Remick might have friends, eh?
I guess it's a possibility. We'll just have to take our chances, won't we, Mr. Watkins?
The marshal coming in from Colorado is sure taking his time, isn't he? Oh, I'm not running out on you, if that's what you're thinking. Guess I can be proud just being in the marshal's office. I haven't been in one in 20 years.
You're still a name I remember reading about, Mr. Watkins. I'm thankful to have somebody on my side.
I was good once, Buckhart, before this trouble started in here. I took care of a lot of men in my time down in Pocatello. That was my town. There's my badge.
There's a man coming, Springer. Howdy, gents.
Pretty town you got here. Mighty pretty town.
I guess you're the marshal from Colorado.
You guessed right, mister. You sure guessed right.
We've been waiting for you. All we want is for you to get Remick out of this town.
That's gonna be my pleasure. Take it you're Buckhart? I don't think we've met. Name is Penrose, Marshal from Puebla.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here. It's Mr. Watkins.
How do you do, sir?
Make yourself comfortable. You're a little early.
I mean, early. You're holding Kid Remick, ain't you? I'll come take him off your hands.
I'll hand him over to you as soon as I get a release to do so. I've already wired Morrison that I have Remick in custody. We should be hearing from him pretty soon now.
Hey, old man. My horse outside. Get him a good feed, will you? And have him take the saddle off and give him a good rub down. Tell him to have him ready in about 20 minutes. I'll be leaving by then. Yeah, Buckhart. Here's my credentials. I'll just get a look at what I'm taking back. Well, what do you know? The big marshal from Pueblo. Well, that's Kid Remick, all right. You must be pretty good to have taken him.
Didn't think about it.
You ever see an Indian think? Why, they ain't got sense enough to worry about dying.
Only cowards worry about that, Remick.
Buckhart!
What do you want now?
This is a public office, Buckhart. I'm here to help escort the prisoner out of town.
Are you a deputy?
A responsible citizen, sir. Colonel Ephraim Springer, late 69th Cavalry, Fort Sill, Apache Indian fighter.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's get him out of there, huh?
Told you before, Mr. Penrose, you're not leaving.
Well, you're gonna play it strictly by the book, ain't you? You're still mighty green at this law work, Buckhart.
Have you lost your mind, Buckhart?
Stay out of this, Springer.
You got my papers. What more do you want?
Now, look, I'm only a deputy. I'm not authorized to turn Remick over to you.
Well, you arrested him.
That's right, but I'm sure you know that anybody can arrest and hold. I'm not empowered to release unless I get word to do so from my superior.
Morrison's out of town. You don't know when he'll be back. You've no right to keep this town in jeopardy any longer.
Out.
Now, Buckhart, I got no objection to a lawman going strictly according to the book. Just when it slows me down, I don't like it.
Why the hurry?
I got a circuit judge waiting. I want a quick trial. I don't want Remick held over in my town any more than you do in yours. I'll lose that judge, be another month before I can get him hanged.
I'm sorry.
All right, you got a judge here in your town. Let him sign your release.
You're a marshal. You know a judge can't do a thing like that.
Now, look here, Buckhart. I'm through fooling.
Better settle down, Mr. Penrose.
Well, your horse will be ready in 20 minutes. You don't look hard-ridden to me. They'll have him rubbed down in no time. Something wrong?
You go back and tell that stableman Mr. Penrose won't be leaving tonight.
Oh, that's why all the ruckus out there in the street. Colonel Springer's out there saying you're not letting Penrose here take the prisoner back.
They don't seem to like what you're doing, do they?
I'm still in charge.
Oh, sure you are. But you don't want trouble with your town, do you? Now, I'm willing to take Remick off your hands, and no hard feelings.
No. And I don't believe that circuit judge is as important as you make it. You can have him brought back anytime.
You telling me my business?
Well, don't tell me mine.
Buckhart! I'm speaking for all of us. We demand that you give Remick over to the marshal now.
You're in no position to make demands, Springer. If a gang comes in here after Remick, they'll deal with me.
Be reasonable, Sam. When I was in Springton 4 years ago, I saw a gang ride into town. They shot up the whole town just to take one man out of jail.
Then get off the streets. Stay in your own homes.
That's not it. It's not just shooting up a town. They can make somebody a hostage. Go into our homes, take any one of us. Don't be stubborn, Sam.
He's right, you know.
Maybe I'm being stubborn for more reasons than I can talk about.
What reasons?
You let me handle this the way I have to. Now go on home!
Letting them talk to us like that?
I know what it is to have convictions. I stood up to plenty in my days. Once in Poco Tiempo, I had a couple of young fellas that I thought... What else you worried about, Mr. Buckhart?
I'm not sure.
If anything happens, it's gonna be your neck, deputy.
Keep that lousy door open. What am I, an animal in here?
That's a toss-up, Remick.
What am I getting out of this stinking hole?
Stop being so anxious. Deputy here likes your company. Says he's keeping you till he gets orders to turn you over to me. And you ought to be glad he ain't letting me have you, because Colorado ain't gonna treat you with such kid gloves. Listen, you think of changing your mind?
I'm not.
Now, what's eating at you, deputy? Why you holding me in this town?
For the reason I stated earlier, Mr. Penrose.
You sure you ain't got no other?
Should I have?
No, I don't have to play no games with you, Buckhart. Here's my papers. That's what counts.
Well, they're certainly in order.
Well, if you ain't satisfied with them, why don't you send a wire to Pueblo? Get a description on me.
I'm sure you know that Pueblo has no telegraph. Cannon City's the nearest point. It'll take 2 days to get an answer. By then, I'll have heard from Morrison, and Remick will be your prisoner. But I don't disbelieve you. I don't have to check up on you.
Huh. That's better. Now, at least you ain't talking like no Apache.
I say we take Buckhart over. Get that prisoner out of here tonight.
That's taking the law into your own hands, Springer. But there's going to be a party to that, and you know it.
You get inside and keep that door locked and bolted. I'm going over to the livery stable.
Yes, sir. I haven't had this kind of confidence put in me in a long time. I guess you had no other choice, have you?
I always have a choice, Mr. Watkins. Where's Penrose's horse and rig?
I heard he wasn't leaving town.
He's not. Where's his horse?
First stall.
Have you cleaned him up?
Didn't need it.
I thought about that. Maybe I should have brought a posse to take Remick back with me, but I was figuring on traveling fast. There's a lot of territory out there for a gang to find just 2 men, especially when they're moving at night.
That's sound judgment, sir.
But till I get Remick out of this town, his gang ain't gonna have no trouble finding him. And every minute you wait, you're taking that much more chance. Jackson, you're a family man. You think it's worth the gamble? What do you think?
I don't know.
Don't push your luck, Penrose.
Buckhead, I've been wondering. You wouldn't be keeping Remick here in town till Morrison gets back just so as you could ride up to Colorado with me and collect the reward, no, would you? Because you don't have to worry. We ain't gonna do you out of it.
Maybe you've forgotten, Penrose. Federal marshals don't collect rewards. You're all standing around here passing judgment on whether I should release a prisoner or not. And you don't even know for sure if this man really represents that badge he's wearing. You said he came down here from Colorado in 2 days. That's hard riding. How come your horse is in such good condition?
That's mighty good whiskey you people have in this town.
You're riding with a rimfire saddle. That's Texas gear, mister.
You call a man a liar just for that. Oh, you like to live dangerous, Buckhart, yes, sirree. How about that reward? I just happen to forget a man can be an Apache and a marshal both at the same time. Now, I'll tell you. My horse fouled up on me just outside of Tulane. Saddle gear galled him. I bought that horse and saddle from a Texas wrangler who was sick and broke. Any more questions?
Maybe you're wrong this time, Sam. I think you better hand Remick over to him.
You ought to do more than think if you want to make this Apache move. You won't budge for nothing. Not even on these here papers.
Well, Sam?
Forget it.
Stop treating us like fools.
I treated you like a citizen till you started listening to him.
Buckhart, are you satisfied? Striking down a friend.
He's still a friend.
I lost my right arm fighting Apaches. Are we going to let him run this town just because he has a deputy star on his shirt?
If any of you think you're good enough to take the star off my shirt, you try.
It's come. Morrison's wire. It says to release Remick to the proper authorities as soon as they show up. It says it's right there in black and white.
I'm not releasing him.
Unless you turn Remick over now, we will. That telegram gives us the right. We're a lawful town and a lawful people.
Sam, we'll give you 1 hour to make up your mind.
Who is it?
It's me, Buckhart.
What'd you find out?
I got the wire from Morrison, but I'm still refusing to let Penrose have Remick.
What's going on out there? What's going on?
Town gave me an hour to make up my mind.
And it's you and me against them, huh?
You can leave.
I'm hard of hearing. You're being stubborn for a reason, aren't you?
I'm sure that Penrose is a fake. But I can't prove it, even though you were right about his horse.
And it isn't going to make any difference on our tombstones.
It might, Mr. Watkins. If his horse hasn't traveled far, that means our friend out there could have killed the real Penrose and somewhere near town.
You say you got an hour. Finding that body, it's like drawing to an inside straight.
Not if I backtrack his trail. Now listen. Penrose might goad them to try sooner if he thinks I'm not here. If they call, don't answer. If I'm not back in an hour, let them have Remick. I don't want anybody hurt, you hear?
I'll do everything you say. Everything, Mr. Buckley.
Buckhart, you hear me? I'm talking to you. Just don't get any ideas. You know what I mean, Buckhart. You've got 20 minutes more, Buckhart.
Sure, he's quiet in there. Why are you giving him any more time?
We said 1 hour.
That's 60 minutes more than I'd have given him.
Hey, you men. If I go in there, you back me up?
Stop where you are. All of you. First man moves, I'm to stop with a bullet.
Don't let that old man scare you. He ain't got strength enough left to pull a trigger. Come on, let's take him.
I'm warning you, Penrose. Don't come any closer. I ain't got all the strength I used to have, but I got enough. Take one more step and I shoot to kill.
Buckhart! You let that old man do all your work for you? Buckhart, you in there? Hey, old man. What did he do, run off and leave you? Buckhart! Sure. That's what he did. He ain't in there. He run out. That's the kind of deputy you got.
Penrose! Your name's not Penrose. You killed the real marshal and took his name. I found his grave 8 miles out of town. I found his saddle, too, buried with him.
Sam, we're sorry.
I guess that's part of my job, to take a few insults. There'll be no gang coming into town. If Remick had friends, he wouldn't have had to depend on one man to do the job. But one was nearly enough, wasn't it?